When people think about pre-workout supplements, caffeine usually springs to mind. But do you actually need stimulants to train effectively? In this presentation, I'll examine two broad categories: traditional stimulant-based formulas that rely on caffeine and related compounds, and stim-free formulas that focus on pump and endurance without that jolt. We'll explore the ingredients, mechanisms, and research behind each approach. My goal is to give you clear, evidence-based guidance so you can choose what truly supports your goals instead of chasing hype. By the end, you'll understand why some lifters swear by stim-free options and why others rely on a caffeinated kick. To start, let's discuss what pre-workouts are designed to do in the first place. Pre-workouts aren't just a can of caffeine, they're designed to support multiple aspects of training, increasing your energy and drive, enhancing blood flow for a better pump, boosting focus and mental clarity, and delaying fatigue to sustain endurance. Well-formulated products combine ingredients targeting each of these areas so that you can train harder and recover faster. But not every label lives up to these promises, and the way these effects are achieved varies widely. Knowing which ingredients support which benefits empowers you to choose a formula that meets your needs. With this framework in mind, let's look at the two philosophies that dominate the pre-workout market. There are two main schools of thought in pre-workout design. The first prioritizes stimulation. These formulas use caffeine, theobromine, yohimbine, and similar compounds to fire up the central nervous system and provide a rapid sense of drive. The second approach is stimulant-free. Instead of focusing on a wake-up call, these blends rely on nitric oxide boosters to increase blood flow, endurance aids like Beta-alanine and Creatine to buffer fatigue, and Nootropics to sharpen focus without caffeine. Both philosophies aim to improve your workout, but they do so through different physiological pathways. To understand why some people love the rush of a stim formula, we need to look at what makes a pre-workout stim. Stimulant pre-workouts are built around a few key compounds. Caffeine is the best known. It blocks adenosine receptors and triggers the release of catecholamines like adrenaline. Theobromine, found in cocoa, is a milder stimulant that can smooth the caffeine curve. Yohimbine and similar alkaloids are more potent and can increase adrenaline and heart rate, but they carry a higher risk of side effects. Together, these ingredients increase alertness, elevate heart rate, and improve drive. However, their impact depends on your tolerance, genetics, and timing. Too much can leave you jittery or anxious. Too little may not provide the desired lift. Before deciding if caffeine belongs in your pre-workout, let's consider what research says about its performance effects. Caffeine is the most studied ergogenic aid in sports nutrition. Meta-analyses show that consuming 3 to 6 milligrams per kilogram of body weight about an hour before exercise can improve endurance and time trial performance by roughly 2 to 3%, enhance mean power output, and increase mental alertness. Minimal effective doses start around 2 milligrams per kilogram, while doses above 9 milligrams per kilogram rarely provide extra benefit and can produce unwanted side effects like jitters, increased heart rate, and sleep disruption. Individual responses vary due to genetics and habitual caffeine use. Understanding these nuances will help you harness caffeine's benefits if you choose a stimulant pre-workout. Now, let's talk about what that classic stim experience feels like. If you've ever taken a stimulant pre-workout, you know the rush. There's a rapid surge in energy and heart rate, a heightened sense of motivation, and the famous beta-alanine tingling that signals something is kicking in. Many lifters interpret this as a sign that the product is working, and it can be incredibly motivating before a tough session. However, those sensations don't guarantee better performance. Feeling amped doesn't necessarily increase your work capacity or improve your lifts. Results still depend on training, nutrition, and recovery. Enjoy the buzz if it helps you get to the gym, but remember that hype doesn't replace effort. Next, we need to weigh the potential downsides of stimulants. Stimulants can be a double-edged sword. Alongside increased drive, they can cause jitters, anxiousness, and a racing heart, especially at higher doses or if you're sensitive. Taken late in the day, they can disrupt sleep, making recovery more difficult. Habitual use builds tolerance, so you need larger amounts to achieve the same effect, and coming off stimulants may leave you feeling sluggish. Some people experience an energy crash after their workout, which can affect the rest of their day. If you use stimulant pre-workouts, consider cycling off periodically to reset your tolerance and reduce dependence. With these caveats in mind, let's shift our focus to stimulant-free formulas and what they offer instead. Stim-free pre-workouts take a very different approach. They skip caffeine entirely and instead combine ingredients that support blood flow, endurance, and mental clarity through non-stimulant pathways. Nitric oxide boosters like citrulline or nitrates widen blood vessels to deliver more oxygen and nutrients. Endurance aids such as beta-alanine, betaine, and creatine help buffer acid and replenish ATP. Nootropic compounds like tyrosine and alpha-GPC support neurotransmitter synthesis to enhance focus without a stimulant buzz. The goal is to deliver tangible performance benefits without the side effects associated with stimulants. To understand how these ingredients work, we'll start with nitric oxide and blood flow. Nitric oxide is a signaling molecule produced in the lining of your blood vessels. When NO levels rise, the smooth muscles around blood vessels relax, causing vasodilation. This increases blood flow, delivering more oxygen and nutrients to working muscles and aiding waste removal. L-citrulline and arginine derivatives are precursors that convert to nitric oxide in the body. Enhanced circulation can translate into a pronounced pump, better endurance, and potentially faster recovery. No boosters act at the endothelial level to support vascular function. With this foundation, we can now look at the evidence supporting one of the most popular NO ingredients, citrulline. Citrulline supplementation is one of the most effective ways to boost nitric oxide. A 2023 meta-analysis found that taking 6 to 10 grams of pure L-citrulline, or roughly 8 grams of citrulline malate, an hour before exercise reliably elevates blood flow and nitric oxide levels. Participants experienced reduced fatigue and improved muscular endurance compared with placebo. Interestingly, combining citrulline with nitrates didn't yield clear synergy. Blends marketed as pump matrices often deliver no additional benefit beyond the single ingredient. This reinforces the importance of dosing. Effective amounts matter more than flashy formulas. Having covered blood flow, let's explore other ingredients that support endurance. To sustain high-intensity efforts, your muscles need help buffering acid and regenerating energy. Beta-alanine increases intramuscular carnosine, which binds hydrogen ions and delays the onset of the burning sensation that forces you to stop. The effective range is around 3.2 to 6.4 grams per day, split into smaller doses to avoid tingling. Betaine is thought to support hydration and cellular integrity, although evidence for performance enhancement is limited. Creatine saturates phosphocreatine stores, enabling rapid ATP resynthesis during explosive movements. A typical protocol involves loading 20 to 25 grams daily for 5 to 7 days, then maintaining with 3 to 5 grams per day. Stim-Free formulas often include these ingredients to improve time to exhaustion. With endurance covered, let's discuss cognitive boosters that don't rely on stimulants. Some Stim-Free formulas incorporate nootropic ingredients to support mental clarity without raising heart rate. L-tyrosine is a precursor to dopamine and noradrenaline, neurotransmitters involved in focus and stress resilience. Research suggests you need high doses around 150 milligrams per kilogram of body weight to potentially see cognitive benefits, and results have been inconsistent. Alpha-GPC is a choline compound that may boost acetylcholine, a neurotransmitter linked to muscular contraction and mental sharpness. One study found that 600 milligrams improved lower body power over 6 days. Although these compounds might enhance the mental side of training, their evidence base is small, and they should be considered adjuncts rather than primary drivers of performance. Now, let's examine the pump experience that Stim-Free users often prioritize. One of the most appealing aspects of Stim-Free pre-workouts is the intense pump they can create. By increasing blood flow, nitric oxide boosters help your muscles look fuller and veins more pronounced during training. This swelling can enhance the mind-muscle connection, making you more aware of each contraction. Many lifters find the pump motivating and gratifying. However, it's important to remember that feeling pumped is largely subjective. It doesn't necessarily mean you're lifting more weight or building more muscle. Pump-based training can complement your routine, but objective progress still comes from progressive overload and solid nutrition. With that distinction in mind, let's talk about the difference between feeling energized and actually performing better. It's easy to assume that feeling wired translates to lifting more, but subjective arousal and objective performance aren't always aligned. Stimulants heighten your sense of readiness and can help you focus, yet they don't necessarily increase force production or strength. On the other hand, ingredients that enhance blood flow or delay fatigue, like citrulline, beta-alanine, and creatine, may improve total training volume or time to exhaustion because they work on muscle physiology. The key is to choose ingredients and doses with proven mechanisms. In other words, don't confuse the buzz with genuine progress. To make this clearer, let's compare how Stim and Stim-Free formulas stack up across different performance categories. When you compare Stimulant and Stim-Free pre-workouts, patterns emerge. Stim formulas excel at providing acute energy and heightened focus. They can help you get out of bed and into the gym, and may enhance mental drive during complex lifts. However, they contribute less to muscular endurance or pump. Stim-Free products shine at increasing blood flow, which improves pumps and potentially endurance, and their endurance aids can help you sustain higher training volumes. Cognitive ingredients in both categories can support concentration, but their effects vary widely. Most importantly, each person's response differs based on sensitivity, tolerance, and training goals. Recognizing these tendencies helps you choose what fits your needs. Next, we'll consider who might benefit most from Stim-Free formulas. Stim-Free pre-workouts are not just for people who dislike stimulants. They're ideal for individuals who experience jitters or anxiety from caffeine, or those who train in the evening and need to preserve their sleep. Athletes in sports that monitor or restrict caffeine intake can use these formulas without risking violations. They're also useful for people cycling off stimulants to reset tolerance. Stim-Free options allow you to continue supporting blood flow and endurance while avoiding central nervous system activation. Essentially, if your goals include pump, stamina, and focus without the side effects of caffeine, Stim-Free pre-workouts deserve serious consideration. For others, stimulants may still have a place, as we'll discuss next. Stimulant pre-workouts are perfect for those who need a strong mental push, especially first thing in the morning or when training fasted. The combination of caffeine and related alkaloids delivers a wake-up call, making it easier to tackle intense sessions. Lifters who have built up a tolerance to caffeine may also benefit from a well-dosed stimulant product to overcome sleepy starts or low motivation. Situations that demand extra focus, like complex Olympic lifts or competition settings, may warrant the heightened alertness a Stim pre-workout provides. Just remember to stay within recommended dose ranges and be mindful of timing so you don't disrupt your sleep. But you don't have to commit exclusively to one approach, which brings us to combining both strategies. Choosing between Stim and Stim-Free isn't an all-or-nothing decision. Many athletes alternate between the two, using a stimulant formula on days that require an extra kick and a pump-focused formula for evening sessions or lower-intensity work. Alternating helps manage tolerance, reduces the likelihood of dependence, and allows your body to reset. Some products combine a modest amount of caffeine with nitric oxide boosters, giving you a balanced effect without overstimulation. You can also stack separate products, pairing a low-dose stimulant with a pump formula, adjusting the mix based on your training intensity and time of day. With combination strategies in mind, the next step is ensuring that the formulas you choose are high quality. Regardless of the category, the effectiveness of a pre-workout hinges on quality. Clinically dosed ingredients are non-negotiable: 6 to 10 grams of citrulline, 3 to 6 grams of beta-alanine, appropriate loading and maintenance doses of creatine, and transparent amounts of any cognitive ingredients. Proprietary blends and pixie dust amounts are red flags that companies are hiding underdosing. Third-party testing and certification provide additional assurance that what's on the label is actually in the tub and free from banned substances. When you demand transparency and evidence-based doses, you protect yourself from wasting money on ineffective products. To apply this rigor, you need a method for evaluating any pre-workout on the shelf. Evaluating a pre-workout doesn't require a degree in biochemistry. It just requires attention to detail. Start by reading the supplement facts panel carefully. Note the serving size and how many scoops you need to achieve it. Compare the listed ingredient amounts to the ranges supported by research. If the numbers are far below, it's unlikely to work. Use evidence-based resources like the International Society of Sports Nutrition position stands or peer-reviewed journals to verify claims. Be skeptical of extravagant marketing promises and proprietary blends that obscure dosing. A little homework ensures that you're investing in products that actually support your training rather than flashy labels. Now let's summarize the key takeaways from our stimulant versus Stim-Free exploration. The debate between stimulant and Stim-Free pre-workouts isn't about which is best universally. It's about what's best for you. Stimulant formulas excel at providing a surge of energy and sharpened focus, but they carry potential downsides like jitters, sleep disturbance, and tolerance. Stim-Free formulas rely on nitric oxide boosters, endurance aids, and nootropics to enhance performance without overstimulation. Both categories can be effective if they use clinically dosed, transparently labeled ingredients. Your choice should be guided by your training goals, time of day, caffeine sensitivity, and any competitive regulations you follow. Recognize that these are tools to complement your training, not substitutes for consistent work and recovery. Whether you prefer the buzz of a stimulant or the smooth pump of a Stim-Free formula, the most important factor remains the same. The formula matters. Prioritize research-backed ingredients, clinical dosing, and transparent labels over slick marketing or celebrity endorsements. When you understand what's in your supplement and why it works, you empower yourself to make smart choices that support your performance. I encourage you to keep learning, share your experiences, and subscribe to evidence-based resources so you can navigate the ever-evolving supplement landscape with confidence. Thanks for following along.